Is it possible for me to get pregnant in my butt if I read a comic with ladies in it?
Sir, I think your kind should be shot.
Wait, I don't get it. What's wrong with my... This is the Tales from the Crawl Space Ask Us Anything episode.
God damn. That's fucked up.
I love that. That's
Hey,
awesome.
Hey, boys, girls, cheese bags everywhere to steal Jack's line. Welcome to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. I, of course, am one of your lovely hosts, Brad Harvey, and across the way and a little bit farther south now is the one and only, the newest resident of Long, South Carolina, Jack Starry. Jack, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Did you know that they named the town after my penis?
Yeah.
Longs, South Carolina.
Yeah, it used to be called Yours is Perfect, the Big One's Hurt, South Carolina.
And then
he moved in.
In honor of me.
There. Yeah, absolutely. So,
I'm doing
guys.
good.
Yeah, great. So, anyhow, what are you doing?
I'm pulling up your your stuff.
Okay.
If you let it sit too long, it all disappears.
Yeah, that's true. The screen goes dark.
Yep.
I'm old. I do it the Amish way. I copy mine on the Microsoft Word and then just
On your
pop the
fancy
file
calculator. You did it on your fancy calculator.
Yeah. I got a Casio.
I had a Texas Instrument.
It's not turning on. Now give it a few minutes and let it warm up.
I had the one that looked like the owl with the little graduation.
Oh, you did?
I had that one.
Wow, man.
I'm old.
Yeah, you're dating me because I was even before that. Calculator we had was like this fucking big.
Oh, yours wasn't an abacus?
No, it was not an abacus, Jack.
I don't know how to use those.
Kiss my abacus.
No idea. I thought it was like a toy. Slide the beach back and
you're
forth.
talking way past our 12 listeners. Oh, damn. So, welcome to the show. Tonight's subject is Ask Us Anything. And boy, you fucking people sure did, man. Let me tell you what. Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group. You guys are the bomb diggity. You came through. You guys were made of questions, and we're made of answers. So we kind of did it differently this time. I put it out there to ask me anything, and then I let that marinate for a while, and then I shut her down, and I said, okay, now let's ask Jack anything. So this is how we're going to do it tonight. I'm going to ask the questions that you guys asked Jack, and he's going to answer them.
Yep.
And then conversely, he's gonna do the same thing for me. He's gonna ask the questions that y'all asked me, and I'll answer them. So that's how it's gonna go. And of course, we are also TFTC live, so make sure you get on our chat. If you got a question, pop it on there, buddies.
We'll pop it on the screen and answer
Pop it on the screen.
on the fly.
You can ask it, and we'll answer it. And we don't care what the fuck you ask.
Oh, fuck no.
No,
The
they didn't
weirder
even
the
ask me
better.
about bugs or nothing. So
The more strange, the better.
it is, man. and if there's one person around here that likes more strange, the better.
That's correct.
Or I never can figure out where he is when we.
I don't know.
do
I'm
this
here
stuff.
somewhere.
That's right. So anyway, Jack.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna start off asking you some questions.
Oh, you are? All right. Well, let me get my feet set.
All right.
Brace myself. Get a little courage on me here.
Mr. Blake Tunn II asked, "Why does it burn when I pee?"
You got to stop mixing your termite tank with your penis.
Yeah.
That's probably the first thing I would do.
I can see when his pants are on his knees and his hips
Yeah, just
down
like-
into the tank. He's like doing this.
Oh hell yeah! And that would be the first thing. And the second thing is, if it persists and there's a little bit of discharge, you message Russell right away because he's going to need to know about this.
Candace is on there. She's on here. Look, say hi to Candace on chat.
Hey Candace, what's up? Yeah.
So that's stop stirring your tank with your penis. That's
That's
the
right.
one.
Yeah, I would say that would be the first thing you do, and then the second one, if it keeps going, check with Russell.
Here you go. Here's one for us from All the Adventure. If your girl and mom switched bodies and the only way to get them back was to fuck one, which one do you choose? Remember and are aware that you can't choose death. They'll remember that you had to fuck them. And
Okay.
I don't. That's That's
Jack,
difficult.
remember what we talked about in messaging. If there was a message a question we don't want to answer.
Uh, I don't have a drink, so I'm gonna have to answer because I'm drinking tea.
Okay. Well, I guess the question would be. I guess the answer would be. It would have to be the girlfriend, or the girl.
Because I wouldn't be able to get it up because it would look like my mom.
Well, because I wouldn't need a shovel otherwise. Because my mom's been gone.
Yeah,
for
that's
like
true.
65 years,
I mean,
so,
that's mine's in a jar.
So yeah.
So
but actually, I took a drink and answered the question. So I get a mulligan next time.
yeah. Well, yeah, mine's in a jar, so that's
Yours in a jar. Yeah.
But
mine's underneath a dogwood tree. So
if they were both alive, it would still have to be the girlfriend body, because I wouldn't be able to get it up otherwise. If I was looking at my mom, there's nothing happening. It'd be like trying to shove a wet needle.
Pretty much,
coin
yeah.
slot.
I'd have to agree with that, and because then if you put it there on your girl, she's gonna be telling you everything you're doing wrong.
She says that's for my bong hits last week. Great question, though. We love it.
No
That's
doubt.
awesome.
No doubt.
Great
All right, Jack, it's your turn. Let's ask. Let's
what you got
ask
for me?
one. Okay, well, we're gonna go with a pretty benign one here.
Mm-hmm.
How many licks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
If I'm correct, and I remember the commercial, it's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3. So the answer is a 3.
That's right. There you go. How many licks will it take? The world may never know.
The world may never know. John Shope says, Brad, are you a top or a bottom? Catcher or pitcher? Now answer carefully because Russell may be listening.
Oh, me? I'm the dugout manager.
He's digging it out.
That's right. Giggity.
Mr. Scotty Grill says threesome.
Threesome.
He's talking about what, your mom and your girlfriend?
Your mom, your girl. Oh my God. Oh shit, the pain. Just thinking about that. And Gustavo asks Jack, did it hurt? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
If by heaven you mean hell? No, but well, kind of yeah, because I hit all the rocks on the way up. But
yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I was like, Gus, he didn't fall from heaven. He was hurled from heaven.
Well, what happens is when you get thrown out of hell, it's like the rubber band effect. You go up and you come back down. So you may have been mistaken, but yeah, it still hurt.
Exactly. It's like the gravitational pull of hell is similar to that of the sun. Because you'll see those bursts, and then they're just like, oh, we're not. No, you're not. You're coming back in here, buddy.
The bursts, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tanner's crawling in.
Oh, there's Tanner.
Is he gonna drop in on you again? Jesus Christ!
No.
Maybe that's the threesome Zippy was talking about.
Tanner's calling in. All right. So Josh R. Talbert says, is Russell Goswiller a gentle lover like in my dreams, or is he feral?
He's gently feral.
Oh.
He can read his lover. If he needs to be gentle, he will be gentle. But damn it always ends up feral in the end.
He ended up answering. He goes, Josh, there's a time for both.
There's a time for both. See, I told
you.
You.
He has to read the room.
I was right, Russell. I know you. I know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, no relation to John Holmes, asks Jack, "Are you from Tennessee?"
No.
That was a quick one.
Jack Daniels, maybe? Is that what he's referring to? Possibly? No.
I don't know. I don't. You don't have a Tennessee accent.
I do not.
You have a bit of a Southern twang.
A little bit.
Little poon twang. And
military school kind of bred that out of me. Some.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I didn't know that was something they frowned on.
Oh, they had to be all proper and shit. So yeah.
Yeah. Good grief. Oh, man.
David Tassos, what's the meaning of life?
The meaning of life?
Yes. The correct answer is in the answer thread there. The correct answer is, but I'm waiting to see what yours is.
The meaning of life. I would have to say that the meaning of life is to do unto others, then get the fuck out of there, man.
That's fair. That's fair. Do it and get away before they can do it back to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That works.
Do unto others, then duck.
And Candace said, because you're the only 10 I see, and that's where he was going with that. So,
Ooh.
hey, thank you, baby. Hot damn. But the answer is 42. Ask any smart device, what's the answer to life, the universe, and everything? Answer is 42. Let me see. Hey, Google, what's the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
Well, according to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. I can certainly help you with some more practical answers, though. What's on your mind?
42. 42 things.
Oh, bullshit. She didn't say 42.
She most certainly did say 42.
She did.
Yeah.
She took a hell of a long time to say it. All I heard, it sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher to me.
Hey, Google, stop.
It's Google, shut the
kept
fuck
talking.
All right, stopping second living room Roku.
Hey, Google, stop.
Okay, well.
Living room Roku.
up. Always got to get in the last word.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Brad Harvey asks Jack,
Mm-hmm.
when a chocolate starfish winks a kernel of corn at you, do you jettison it across the dungeon or go full human centipede?
It depends on the cannon.
Okay.
It depends on the launching device.
The launching device in this case would be your mouth.
Well, if it's coming at me, though, I mean, if I'm going to go...
If it winks it at you and you're jettisoning it across the room, I mean, you're like,
Or am I going to spit it back in the receptacle?
no, you're just a, swallow it. Be a man.
Oh, okay, be a man. Well, it is
right.
corn, and
That's true.
I
Yeah,
do like
that's
corn.
right. I hope there's still a little salt and pepper on
I'm a
it.
fan.
Yeah,
Enjoy it again a second time.
Yeah, that's the human centipede. It's like, I'll eat it. Yeah.
Yummy.
Cuttlefish or rice and asparagus.
All right. Todd Ingmeyer says, why is private equity buying all the trades?
Why is private equity buying all the trades? One reason, money.
Yeah. That's
I mean, can you think of any other reason? I mean,
no.
there's gold in our hills. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And the more that they buy it, it's a commodity. I mean, look at what we do, especially on things like pest control contracts. I mean, they you got money coming in, opening unlocking a door when you've got pest control contracts, and especially termite renewals. I mean, if you think about a termite renewal, that is such a commodity that, I mean, because if people are paying every year, somebody's got to honor that shit. So if you're a small company and you've got a big fuck ton of termite renewals coming in, you got to hold good on those. But if you go out of business and stuff, you got something to sell, and that's those freaking contracts, those renewal contracts. So yeah, I mean, there's money in it, and there's good long-term money in it as well. And especially a big ass company. Private equity firms, they groove on that shit, and it's also got a lot. I think it might have a lot to do with the banks that are buying all the houses and shit like that as well. I mean, everything's getting balled up into one big umbrella corporation. So,
Yeah.
God bless the small guys, but for fuck's sake, will you stop underpricing shit already?
Yeah. What the fuck, man? Stop cutting
Jesus
throats.
Christ. Man, 40 years ago, we were fucking selling termites for $14 a linear foot. And I'm lucky to get 8 now. Okay,
God,
so
damn.
the industry is shooting itself in the linear foot. And,
Yep.
Enough already.
Amen to that.
Let me get. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
Okay.
We're moving on. So, all right. Okay, Jack.
Uh-huh.
If Billy the Exterminator. This is from our buddy Sancho.
Sancho. I love me some Sancho.
Yep. If he knows what is good for him, he best
go running high.
Daddy's got a new 45. And I won't think twice to stick that barrel straight down Sancho's throat. believe it when I said that I got something for his punk ass.
And I really want to know.
Yeah,
Really?
All right. If Billy the Exterminator challenges you to a German roach cleanout battle, who would get a boner first? Extra points if you shit in a crawl space.
Well, I'm gonna. Well, the job would have to be in Indianapolis, so I could stop by and fulfill destiny and shit in Brad's crawl space in his grinder pump.
And I will say, whenever Jack is in town, I always leave a fresh roll on the windowsill right outside the crawl space access. Because there's no point in him riding dirty the whole time he's in Indy. And so you're gonna shit in my crawl
don't need
space.
to be poopy.
That's fine. Just fucking wipe, will you?
Yeah.
Nobody
poopy.
wants to catch that whiff.
But the only boner I get with Billy the Exterminator is the chance to hit him in the mouth.
Ooh.
I can't stand
breaking
that
up
dude.
just thinking about that.
He's like bad hair metal looking, man set up. It's like the one where he put the turkey in the bar just to film himself getting it out. He had to stage his own shit for his show. So, when you get like 4 different camera angles, that's not reality TV.
No, it's not.
No.
No. Reality TV is a lot more gritty and less
Like The Real World on MTV.
cringe.
Here you go. Another fine compliment from I love when y'all do sing-alongs. I also shit in crawl spaces under decks more than I should admit.
Under decks.
You got a chick admitting that. I think it's fucking awesome.
Man,
Snapping a loaf under under a deck.
God, that takes backbone right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of the decks I'm around are big enough for me to actually. I would have to like lay on my side and then just kind of wiggle away from it when I was done.
I love you, Sancho, but I have a new favorite listener right now.
Amen to that.
She's my new favorite for sure. No question.
This is absolutely not. Well, anybody that shits in a crawl space.
Oh yeah, and under decks. Come on.
And under deck.
And a girl snapping a loaf. I mean, it's there's gonna be some pervert watching right at the point of egress. Watching you groundhogging, you whistle pigging. Whee!
Oh god, it's like Jim Carrey coming out of the backside of the Rhino in Ace Ventura. only more attractive.
Okay, Nicholas Sebasta said, "What's your protocol for a German roach infestation, residential German roach infestation? And as a follow-up, when do you get child or elderly protective services involved?"
Okay, my go-to at this point is bait where I can't use WSG and WSG when I can, where I can, and I do not have a problem in that area. And as far as CPS getting them involved, whenever you feel it's necessary and anonymously.
He follows up by saying, "I know this is a humor page, but I think it may help the younger or less experienced technicians to know exactly what's considered a health risk and when to mind their own business." And I think that's a good question. I'm glad they brought it up on the serious tip. So yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that's anytime you feel it's necessary. I mean, you've got eyes, you've got a conscience, you've got a nose. If you find that situation, just you can always report anonymously. There's but damn it, there's some things that are more important in life than other things. So this is definitely one of them. If you feel like a kid is in danger in their living environment, you have an obligation as a human being to report it.
Right. Yeah, it's.
I will admit in the 34 years I've been doing this, I've done it twice.
Yeah, I think I've done the same amount of times.
Things that are that bad. I've always done it anonymously. It's never been a problem. They never, because they send somebody out, they look at it. There's no follow up needed on your end. You can take care. You can get this taken care of. And get on, and just move on down the line. So, and if you have if you have a certain particular situation that you're thinking of when you ask that question, I hope you've taken action.
Yeah, and don't feel guilty about it because sometimes it needs to be said, needs to be done. So
yeah, damn it, Jack, I need to pick me up after that. Say penis.
Penis.
Thank you.
Penis.
There, I feel better already.
Let me break it out.
Penis.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give you the deep, sexy voice, baby. My penis.
Okay. All right. Now you
Feel better now? Is that better?
The juices are totally flowing.
Yeah,
Hey. All right. Morgan Kerr.
Juices.
Yeah. Morgan Kerr asks, and I know she's Morgan. Somebody like Morgan. She's not listening to this, but she asks you, can you please identify this for me? Maybe an image of tick and seedlings. She threw a picture up there, and it was blurry as all fuck out. So basically,
that's funny you asked that one.
Yes.
Because I have to add this one in as an aside. Because Billy Thomas said, "What kind of bug is this?" So I came up with a visual aid. What kind of bug is this?
If that picture is like Russell, it's like Russell last week on the show. His video. If there was any fewer pixels, it would fucking be radio.
I didn't know potatoes could transfer video, but apparently he could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Scotty asked me to sing "Life Is a Rock," but the radio rolled me. And as we said, if there's anything that we didn't want to answer to, we're going to take a drink.
Yeah, well, sure. I'll get tongue-tied. And I know there's someone out there who'd be disappointed if I was.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. That song is definitely good Colonel Angus practice.
Cunning linguists.
Cunning linguist. Yes, only the cunningest of linguists.
That's correct.
Can sing this song. But, yep, everybody look it up. Life is a Rock, but the radio rolled me.
Yep.
Look it up on Google Tube.
And so many commercials have been born from that song.
Yeah.
All right, well, Tanner Lott had a question for you. What are your thoughts on the global economic differences between AAA power countries and their massive growing GDP, and those less fortunate, maybe in the third world countries, where they're struggling to get an economic product that's good enough to be transferred across a positive trade world?
I think it all boils down to geopolitics and international commerce. I mean, the infrastructure has not been set up properly for these particular countries that are less fortunate, but may have adequate resources in order to compete in the world market. They got what the fuck, man? No.
Hey, look who showed up, Mr. Tyler McElvain.
Hey,
Good to see you,
Tyler,
Tyler.
what's up? I tried to sound intellectual there for a
Tanner,
second.
that was a good question.
I couldn't keep it up, man.
I don't know if you're still listening, if you've gone to hibachi, but that was a good question, Tyler. Tanner,
No doubt. Oh, fuck, I guess it's my turn now.
yes, sir.
Okay, John Shoppy asks, is Brad the man or woman in your relationship?
Well, he's kind of a gender fluid depending on the situation and the mood and whatever dress I bring home from Ross Dress for Less for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes
right.
like the nice sundresses where you can see a sack when the sun's
see my
behind you, you can
sack.
see a sack right there.
Yeah, look at him. He knows how to pack a sack.
Sack.
It's something to pack a sack.
You want your pop in a sack?
That's right. And well, all I can say is when I do put them on, Jack usually tries them on at the store first and kind of compares sizes. He brings them in, then I have to take them in, and then I will stand in front of the window as the sun's rising up, so the silhouette of the sackage shows up. We have legs, and then we have this.
It's like a W.
That's right. No, it's not a W. It's the letter U.
You know, it reminds me.
My lips don't hang that low.
The first time I went to a Casey's, the first time ever, I walked in and I bought a Dr. Pepper, and I walked up to the counter and I asked for a pack of cigarettes. And the lady goes, "You want your pop in a sack?" I said, "No, I don't want you to kick me in the nuts, but you can put my soda in the bag." She looked at me like I had two heads. All right. Wesley T. Pitts says, "Why are so many people so peoply?" I'd like to know the answer to that one.
You know the answer to that one?
No, I'd like to know the answer to that one.
Oh, I would like to know
people.
why people are so peoply. Well, people are so peoply because people are people. And I mean, there's no other explanation for it. We are such a unique species that we there's some sort of instinct in us that goes back, I don't know, from the cavemen or whatnot, to piss the other person off, Doesn't matter who in their room. You're gonna annoy the shit out of them. You're gonna talk so much you can't. You refuse to shut up. You can watch their face melt like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you're just gonna keep on going. Oh, and you're gonna do this too. That's right. Talking in circles. You're gonna take laps around the subject, and every fucking 5 or 6 times you're gonna mention it. And yeah.
Isn't that a Depeche Mode song? People are people.
people.
So why should it be?
I was a
that
Pet
you
Shop
and I
Boys kind of
should
guy,
get along?
though.
Yeah.
But I was a Bananarama kind of guy.
Oh yeah. It's a cruel summer.
Summer, leaving me here on my own.
That's I'm Bananarama. Yeah, I think I have dispelled potential children to the album cover of Bananarama.
Yes, I have leaked much gender fluid on that. Oh God.
Right out my penis.
Michael Fogler. Because the best part of waking up is Fogler's in your cup. Hey, Jack.
Hey,
Why did Brad turn the comments off on his post?
that's a question.
I had a question about idling.
Oh, for 1,125 minutes.
At least. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, you should. If you're gonna idle, you need to idle for at least 1,125 minutes.
Yeah.
We will accept 1,125 seconds if you're in a hurry, but it's got to be
That's true.
1,125. Yeah.
But to thoroughly circulate oil throughout the whole engine block, you need a good solid 1,125 minutes.
Exactly.
That's
There
what you need.
go. Yeah, I sold a quarterly treatment, quarterly service on this huge church, and the annual amount was $4,500. You know what that breaks down to a quarter? That's right, 1,125.
1,125.
1,125, motherfucker. And then Jack. Then they fucked it up by paying a year in advance. They got a 5% discount, so it was no longer 1,125, and it
God damn
broke
it.
my heart.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I'd sneak it back in just to get back to the.
Hell yeah, I would. No, next year they're getting a 5% increase, or 10%. That way they pay a year in advance again, and then back down to 11.25. At least I think that's how the math works. I don't know.
No one told me there's going to be math involved. I didn't get that warning at all.
No,
So.
math is bad. Good. Math is bad. Good.
Don't smoke math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Math, not even once.
I think this person was trying to throw someone else under the bus, but Allie Penshorn said, "Will Chad Anderson ever put product in his duster or forever blow air into the weep holes?" Is that like a
What?
Is that like a
Did I
double
miss something
speak for
here?
like bad oral sex? What is that?
I don't know. Blow air into the weep holes. Oh. I guess it doesn't look like he's applying any dust. You know, that's either the mark of a cheap motherfucker, or that's the mark of somebody that really knows how to mix air and dust. Because if you're seeing it, you're putting too much in. At least that's what I'm told. I always put too much in because I like to see that puff of smoke.
The
I don't
sting
like seeing,
means it's working.
I don't like seeing that stream of dust come out.
You don't like the patina? Oh,
Yeah. That pisses me off because
That's like the 90-year-old load.
Yeah, and then it's flat. Like, it's like Thanos just nutted. But no, and it always happens to me inside. It never happens on the exterior dusting.
Yeah.
Like this was like, I was like,
Yep.
motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I hate and those bellows type. What are they? Gats type dusters.
The JT Eaton dusters.
Yeah, the Eaton dusters. Yeah, and because them fucking rubber corks never stay in. And
This was on the first tips and tricks episode. You get your pocket knife and you get that rubber fucking cork thing, and you take it and you shave the edge where it goes into the duster. You like just shave that edge, the corner off of it, and you'll
Right.
actually get it in there.
Oh wow.
You just got to shave it just a little bit, and
Yeah.
it'll go in.
Huh. I'll have to remember that next time that if I ever use one of them again.
I like those dusters. First.
I will. Shit, man. I've got my Puff D, my bulb duster, the little green
Yeah.
one with the long tip and shit. And when I break those, I buy one out of my own pocket. I'm not even going to ask Bill for money for that. I'm just like, fuck this. This is my duster. I'm doing this. You know what?
Right,
When I leave,
right.
I'm taking it with me. Why? Because I can put other shit in there and do my squash plants.
Now the Puff D, that's like a knockoff of the Central Bulb.
That is the Central Bulb.
Oh, they changed. Okay.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah, they changed companies or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
it's like when Apprehend got bought out by Rockwell, they should just call it Mud.
Does it now? Does it still have the Jerry Bukowski invention inside of it, where it has that little sliding weight on the? Because the guy that used to be the chief entomologist for the Big Green Tea, Jerry Bukowski, was the one that came up with that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
got
just
that little
put
slidey thing.
I put a penny in mine.
Still got it.
Put a penny in it.
Put a penny. Yeah, I got a couple ball bearings in mine. I got one of those magnet toys that's got like a bunch of ball bearings sitting on a big base magnet. You could like play with them and stuff, fidget around with them. I just grab a couple of those when I get a new duster. I grab a couple of those, chuck them in there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
by the time I retire, they'll be all gone. But who cares? Yeah, I won't need to fidget anymore on my desk because I won't be sitting at it.
No fidget.
Candace says that the B&G bulb duster is her favorite. It works great. The B&G bulb duster.
Hey, Miss Albert Albert.
No,
Oh,
the B&G
Sancho's here.
Sancho. We already sang your song.
Yeah, we already sang
Yeah.
Sancho.
You're gonna have to watch the playback tomorrow. The B&G bulb buster works great, but I still prefer the Puff D because you can use that in any direction, and that's one of the things that sliding thing is for. That's to help keep you from overloading and doing that, old man skeet. And I find that works better. The 3-piece extension is a bit much for me because I'm one of those guys that loses small objects.
Right.
And so, that's why I got a ribbon tied around my wang. But anyway, but I like the 1-piece. It's rigid. It's firm. It's pulsating.
Yes.
Throbbing.
Like my pants.
But no, I like that. It's good, and I will use one if I have to. But I definitely prefer the Puff D.
I had the Power Puff. Looked like a cordless drill with a little curly Q tube. It was pretty cool. And it had the big
I've seen
canister on it. Those are good. I like that.
I like the Exacticides too, but they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They are.
It's like, what about $800 for something? I can pick up a Puff
damn.
D for $30.
Yeah.
and do the same thing.
But kiss my ass.
Shit.
All right, Dale Edgley says, why are Patels so demanding, yet so cheap at the same time?
I would like to know that myself, and I think I do have the answer to that.
That is a question for the ages.
It is a question for the ages. There are certain people, and this transcends culture, this transcends race, this transcends everything. But there are certain people out there in the world that just feel like they got to get the best fucking deal possible, and in order to do that, they feel like, okay, you're in my house, I want you to do this, 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 and this, and they feel like they have a captive person to do all this shit for them, and they're just going to bug the living piss out of you until you do. And I had one today. This guy, I went to his house. Let's go back 3 months ago when I did his initial service. I get there, he's like, yeah, I spoke to the owner, and he said you're going to do this, this, and this, and I knew he was full of shit. So it's like, because Bill's not going to tell me to do all this shit. So, but you know what? I had a little time. I did it anyway. Just get off my ass, So then, so that time comes to pay the piper, right? So I told him, I said, all right, we're all set. I did this, and I did all the things. It's time to pay the fat guy. And he goes, how much is it? I said, it's going to be $369. And he goes, well, I talked to the owner, and it said it was $300. I said, $300? I said, I got to call the office. And so I called Stacy. I said, Pest Pack Mobile was down, and so I had to call the credit card in anyway. And she goes, I said, for $300. She goes, This was supposed to be $369. He said, well, he said he talked to the owner, to the bill and everything. So she's like, yeah, whatever. I said, Stacy, just fucking run it. Get me out of this house. And so she did. We were out $69 or whatever the fuck. And I went back to the office, and as I talked to the owner, Bill's like, well, I didn't talk to him. And Stacy's like, that guy, that son of a bitch. It's like he talked to me. Yeah, I said, well, you're not the owner of Trio. She goes, no shit. So I was like, you know what? The only thing that matters to me is that that I'm out of the house now. I said, do me a favor, Stace. I said, don't ever send me back there again. She goes, okay, no problem. I could look at my schedule the other day. Who's on it? And Stacy came in this morning. I said, I remember, let's go back 3 months ago when I told you not to take me. She's like, oh, I completely forgot.
Let's hop into the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, I was the only person in Indianapolis. It was the Brad and Stacy show today. One of the technicians had a funeral to go to. The other one had a doctor's appointment. One of them semi-retired, and the lady is up in Fort Wayne running her own shit right now. So that was just me and Stacy, and I was like, I couldn't do anything about it but to go to the house. I said, Stacy,
The next time this guy is on my route will be my last day.
She goes, oh, you didn't have to put it like that. I said,
yeah, I did.
I didn't. No, I did.
Yes.
Oh God! But I got there today. Dude was had the door shut in the bedroom. He's on a conference call. I dealt with his wife, and his wife is a sweetheart. So
good.
It all turned out. So it's like, okay, not only have I taken care of this guy's follow-up, his warranty is going to be up in a few days. Stacy knows never to send me there again. I'm done with him. It's beautiful. But anyway, the reason to answer the question, the reason that those people are like that is because a lot of them got a lot of money. That's how they keep it.
Yep, you don't
by bending everybody else over.
Spending it, so you don't stay rich by spending
it. And a complete lack of conscience is also a plus when you're that way.
Brad, I have to ask you, since that last story was quite verbose and very interesting and educational, you must have gotten a really dry mouth while you were telling the story.
My throat got so dry, Jack.
Oh, yeah. How did you remedy that?
Malaise? I remedy it with it's a two-step process. Okay, yes. I remedy it first I drink some of my retirement bourbon to burn the area. And then I quench it quickly with some ice water from my Tony Spangler tumbler from TonySpangler.com. That's right. Absolutely. Oh, man, he's got his penis.
I got the penis one out today.
Mm-hmm. I will take a sip of ice water out of this thing or some sweet tea or something like that. And it is just so refreshing because you've got that beautiful double-walled insulation that comes with every Tony Spangler tumbler. And not one wall, but two. It's double walled.
It is truly the McDLT of tumblers.
It is. The hot stays hot. The cool
stays cool.
That's right. And it's got and as you're guzzling down whatever fluid you may have in there, gender or otherwise, you're gonna look at some eye popping graphics.
Yes,
okay?
like the veins on that.
Like the veins on Candace's pet that she calls Big Jack. And you can tell. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God.
Oh, that sexy motherfucker right there. Look at that.
Ladies, you think you're wet now? Just wait.
Oh,
there
moist.
You go.
Moist.
You're getting it moist. So moist. It's getting visibly damp down there. But
Brad Harvey.
That Brad Harvey's only
man. Only white boy made me moist.
And so and so then we're gonna rubber bottom in the process too. Yes, rubber bottom. Yeah. Yep. Jack, this is Jack's favorite part, by the way, is the rubber bottom. It is so soft, supple, and yet grippy.
I do like a grippy bottom.
We all like grippy. Yeah. That's right.
But they come with something special, don't they? You get an added bonus with those, don't you?
You actually do get an added bonus, and as soon as I top myself off with this, we're going to talk about that.
Oh,
because,
right.
Because I'm going to be doing a lot of peeing after this show, and I'm going to be able to change my name from Brad Harvey to IP Freely, and that the reason is because of the thing that comes with every Tony Spangler tumbler from SpanglerArt.com is the one and only surgical stainless steel urethral sounding rod.
That's correct.
This thing is just a beauty and innovative of manufacturing. It's the surface is so smooth it allows for easy and smooth, comfortable insertion.
Yes.
And not to mention that once it gets there, you have this finely machined edge here that is going to rip right through any clinging debris and detritus that may be hanging up in your urethra.
I must say I'm a big fan of smooth insertions. Yes, I am.
If it ain't a smooth insertion,
yes,
don't bother. But I'm telling you what, man. Once this thing leaves your urethral tract, the pee comes it flows like a mountain stream. That's
correct.
That's right, and it just you're transported to the Rocky Mountains where ice melt is flowing down the mountains,
and the mountains are blue,
and the mountains are blue too, much like your urethra will be after this. But
you will not have a narrow urethra.
You will definitely not have a narrow urethra. So I'm telling you what though, this thing I have not regretted any Tony Spangler tumbler from SpanglerArt.com because there are an unlimited amount of styles because everything comes from you guys in your heads.
If you can dream it, they can make it.
If you can think it, he can make it. So, I mean, it's got it all. It's got the eye-popping graphics. It's got the double-walled insulation. It's got the rubber bottom. Also the I mean, medical equipment never comes as cheap, but you can get it there. And there's only one place to go to get all of these things.
If you got Peronis, reach for Tony. Steal urethral sounding rods.
And boys and girls, that is JT Story, my handsome boy. And his page on Facebook is JT Story VO. He does jingles, songs, you name it, intros for podcasts. He also does awesome intro for the Pestrogen podcast. So JT Story VO for voiceover on Facebook.
God, I am so freaking stoked about meeting him in October.
Yeah. He's excited too. Very excited.
Oh, good. That makes me happy.
Hell yeah.
He go see his Uncle Brad.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. Okay, well, my turn.
Okay.
Joshua asks, will you give me a small loan of $1 million, which I never have to pay back?
I thought you said doll hairs, so I robbed all the Barbies from the Walmart, and I think I have a little more than 1 million doll hairs. So I've got those for you. But if you need actual cash, you can fuck all the way off.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now the whole toy aisle over there looks like a bunch of NPCs with really pointy boobs. What do you want for Christmas, little girl? I want a Wojak doll.
All right, Michael Stacy Colley said, I ran from a fight once, and my grandma said, you either fight them or you fight me. I whipped her ass that day. Have you ever fought your grandma and lost?
If I ever fought my grandma and lost, every damn time.
Grandma had a right hook. You wouldn't believe.
You don't understand the grandmas I had. Yeah, you don't know. I called her a crazy lady one time, and I woke up with tubes in my ears. And
they're completely justified. If the cop showed up and your granny said what you said, it'd be like, oh yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my grandma on my mom's side. My grandma on my mom's side was a woman you did not fuck with.
Formidable?
Formidable is a mild term for Marguerite. For Marguerite Swells. Yes, I'm telling you what, man. Yeah, she was more. This is a woman that, as a baby, was alive during the Spanish influenza pandemic.
Wow.
And that woman lived another 88 years. So Grandma Swells was nobody you messed with, and you really didn't want to either. You know, I mean, she was such an awesome grandma, funny as hell.
Yeah.
She did some of the weirdest shit. Now, my grandma Harvey, a beautiful soul, loved her to death, always had room for kids in her life and everything. But you know, from time to time, as kids, we're stupid, we're dumbasses. We will cross, we would cross her. You know, and we didn't have to worry about her. We had to worry about Grandpa once he found out. He had a razor strop that he called Charlie. And Charlie stayed up on top. So they had this old wooden secretary that stayed in the hallway, and Charlie would sit up on top of that thing, and we knew right where Charlie lived. And when Grandpa found out, if we ever gave Grandma any sass or did anything like that,
Charlie the Keister Buster.
Charlie came out, man, and Charlie was Charlie. And my brother Randy held the record as the one person who became most acquainted with Charlie during his childhood. And when my grandpa passed, my grandma gave Charlie to Randy.
Oh wow!
And I think he still has it somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, Charlie, good old Charlie, man. Charlie made me the man I am today, and I am the man that does not fuck around with old ladies, man.
What's that meme video from the early 2000s? Ow, Charlie, that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ow, Charlie. So similar, but that had welts.
Yeah, it looks like Pesterton is in the house.
Pastor Dad. There you go. Kyle Flynn said, "Do the chickens have large talons?"
I'm sorry.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Yeah, you notice how I'm wearing headphones and I leaned in to listen.
Yeah, I did. I
I
noticed
hear
that.
a little bit better. That's like when you're trying to find some place and you turn the radio down so you can see the mailbox.
Yes, I've done that. I did that today, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Do chickens have large talons?
Do the chickens have large talons?
The chickens have
Yes.
large talons? Yes.
Apparently,
the
they're
chickens.
specific chickens.
The chickens do have large talons, but it pales in comparison to their peckers.
Yeah, that's a large cock.
Yeah, they do have some peckers. They do have some
That's
pretty,
right.
pretty formidable peckers.
Formidable.
Formidable. Oh God.
Am I out of questions yet?
No. We still have quite a few questions, man. We're gonna blow through them here.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna take out Kai. Thank you very much for your question, but we already answered what the meaning of life was. So we're gonna go ahead and just better luck next time, Kai. Zach asks a very cogent and poignant question.
Okay.
He wants to know, how do I get a sexy beard like yours?
Okay. It takes a lot of masturbation. A lot of masturbation. I mean, play with yourself like you're in an amusement park. Ride the rides, go on all the things. Because you have to build up the testosterone and the chi. Your chi built up. And so that's what you got to do to get this kind of, sexy. And you also have to keep it moistened with vagina. Vagina.
Yes, nature's beard oil.
That's right.
That's right.
Vagina's nature's beard oil. That's how it works. So
Yeah.
get vagina on your face. Mm-hmm. That's how it works.
Yes. and Dr. P.H. Beaver will tell you that.
That's correct. Correct.
And Dr. P.H. Beaver's beard
Not
oil.
Doc Johns, the guy that owned the love supply stores.
No, and not
Doc
Dr.
John's
Hook
oil.
and the Medicine Show from the cover of the Rolling Stone. It's
Jeff,
Dr. P.H. Beavers. Miracle
Jeff
beard oil.
McAtee says, "What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?"
Unladen swallow.
Yes.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna say the velocity. The velocity depends on the viscosity. So,
I think they were referring to the Monty Python. The Monty Python. Talking about.
I love Monty Python, but many of the references go over my
I
head.
love me some Monty Python now.
All right, well then you answer the fucking question.
No, I'd have to ask if it was an African or a European one, first of all. He didn't specify. Or if it was carrying a coconut with the husk, then grab by the husk.
And usually when I get a question about Monty Python that I don't get the reference to, I always look up my picture of the larch, and everything's okay.
The larch.
The larch.
The larch.
Okay, moving on. Swing and a miss. Sorry. All right. Matt asks of Jack, if you had a dream, and in part of that dream you start making out hardcore with tongue and lots of saliva with Brad, that doesn't make you gay, right? Because it was in a dream. It's not gay, right?
It doesn't make you gay if it's in the dream, but if you wake up and masturbate to it, it does.
Yes, it does.
So if you finish yourself off in the morning to the dream you had that night, then yes, it could possibly.
No, if you masturbate to it, and then you tell somebody you masturbated to it, then that's
I
gay.
always tell people to masturbate.
No.
Always.
You told people that you masturbated to that particular dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then it's gay.
Like, hey, I jerked off today.
Yeah.
That's non-specific masturbation information.
The motto is it's only gay if somebody finds out. So,
That's true.
If you're gonna out yourself like that, then yeah.
It's like riding a little
Gay.
tiny pink bike. It's all fun and games until someone sees you.
Somebody sees you.
Sancho, our favorite Sancho, says, "Is it really a German roach if it's born in America?"
It is. It is still a German roach, but in Germany they're just known as roach.
That's right.
That's like French dressing and fries. It's dressing and fries over there.
I mean, you know what they call a Big Mac in France, right?
They call it Le Big Mac. No, they call it a quarter pounder with cheese
Is a
is
Royale.
a Royale with cheese.
That's right.
But a Big Mac is just
Le Big Mac.
Not Body Python, but I got the reference.
That's a Pulp Fiction one.
That's right. Okay, Jack.
Yes, sir.
What if I told you I could make you wealthy and no OnlyFans?
My feet aren't that attractive.
It's Foot Finder.
It's not OnlyFans. It's Feet Finder.
No,
And
it's
my,
Feet Finder, yep.
my feet aren't that attractive. Really, they're not. You know, I got like the diabetic nails and everything, and I got like the big calluses and shit. And I'm just gonna be broke. I'll just not have any money.
That's right. Just live in squalor, Jack.
I blew through all my porn money long ago.
Oh yeah.
Long ago, yeah, I did, because I was Captain Longrod, from termite work, Captain Longrod. So then I did it in Ireland, and I was Duncan McDickander.
Yeah.
In Ireland, that was my Irish porn.
Yeah. I did one in Scotland, and I was Miles O'Toole.
All right, Shane Bowman says, if a monkey bites you, what kind of shot do you need? There you go. Evan Williams, bottled in
That's the
bond.
guy. Evan
100
Williams,
proof.
bottled in bond. 100 proof, bottled in
shot.
bond. Because legally it has to be 100 proof if it's bottled in bond. This stuff is aged for just under a week or two, and but it has a mellow sweetness to it that betrays its youth, and so it spends about as much time in the Rick House as I do in the ladies section at Ross Dress for Less. So this is the shot you need to take for that monkey bite.
Just imagine Brad at the back of Ross Dress for Less going, does my ass look fat in this?
That's right. It's like, does this dress make my ass look fat? No, that fucking cream horn you ate earlier it does. Damn. Oh shit. Good old Ross Dress. Man, we did two shameless plugs, didn't we?
Yes, we
One
did.
for Evan Williams and one for Ross Dress for Less. Blake
That's
Kahn asks, why does it burn when Brad Harvey pees?
It's either the yeast or he did not properly clean and sanitize his surgical grade urethral sounding rod. If you don't clean it, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions. That's how that works.
Yeah, and don't you find that out the hard way, Jack?
No, you got to
telling
sanitize that puppy. Do like Brad does, run it right between your lips there before you slide it in. Because if you leave the old debris and detritus,
Yes, because I'm always running disinfectant through this cleaning apparatus right here. That's right. So my mouth has always has a layer of alcohol in it. So if it burns when you pee, you can't blame me.
there's another song popped in my head. Lips like sugar,
Sugar kisses. Who was
Dylan
that?
Lowen
The Cure? Or-
No, I'm not sure. That's not the Cure. I'm not sure that is. Dylan Lowen says, what's the strangest situation you've had to deal with as a tech? Referring to pests, not the people.
Oh my God, a serious pest control question.
Mm-hmm.
What is one more time, Jack?
What's the strangest situation you've had to deal with as a tech? Referring to pests, not people.
The strangest. Okay.
Yes.
I would say the strangest is not really strange because it was an easily identifiable pest. And it was, it's something that you see anytime, most times when you're in a crawl space in this area. And it is indeed the camel cricket. Yes, I am talking about that one thing that everybody, the untrained eye sees and thinks that a cricket mated with a spider, and they have some sort of marvel of nature that they're going to sell to a lab and become rich. No, I'm sorry. It's a fucking camel cricket, okay? Yeah, they got them long, spindly legs and stuff. Okay. It wasn't the bug itself that caused this to be such a strange. It was the sheer number of them in this crawl space. I get in this crawl space, right? And I'm looking, and the floor of the surface of the ground is moving underneath the crawl space. The walls are moving. I mean, I'm telling you, these camel crickets, man, they were fucking legion.
That's so awesome.
And, oh my god! So I slowly back myself away out of the crawl space. And I go back up, and this is when I was at the Scarlet Letter, and they rock out with fucking 50-gallon gas-powered, spray tanks.
Right.
They're throwing, we're throwing Sidekick and all kinds of fun shit around, Polyzone and stuff around yards and everything. We're rocking it at about 75 psi. We're spraying foundations and leaving exit wounds. I mean, it's just massive fucking equipment, old school fucking guys. But so I fire it up. I grab my I'm dragging hose into that crawl space, and I get in the middle. I get in there, and I just go commando style, just like, and they're fucking just rolling back, right? And then it's like I will stop to go, and as I'm going, more are coming. I'm spraying to the right, they're coming at me to the left. I'm spraying to the left, they're coming at me to the right. It was just like, and they were just like, and I could hear that Lord of the Rings music.
Did you look over your shoulder and go, get to the chopper?
and I'm telling you, I was covered in camel crickets, and it was just like, it was just bloody incredible. And after a while, after I got over the initial shock of it all, I was getting into it, man. I was just like, and they were just like rolling back in waves, tumbling around and shit. And it's like finally I figure this crawl space has had enough. I get out and I do the rest of the service. I go in there, and then they're just laying there. It's like big, just the whole ground is just like,
it was a massacre.
And then you hear that, other Lord of the Rings music, the ethereal stuff. And I'm just looking slowly through there, and I was just like, my work here is done. So yes, I would say that was the weirdest thing.
That's cool. We're running close to 8 o'clock, so I picked the best question I could find for you of the rest of the ton that you had. So I'm going to ask you this because I want to know the answer to it too. Mm-hmm. If I leave a destination going north at 45 miles an hour and a train leaves going south at 100 miles per hour, how many sticks of Centricon bait do you think I can eat in one sitting?
I think we've come to the meaning of life again. What was that number?
42.
42
sticks of Centricon. Now, is that the hexaflumeron or the novaflumeron?
It would have to be the hexaflumeron because that novaflumeron is HD. That's the stuff we only check once a year now. So I don't think he would be able to possibly chew all of those and swallow unless he's gonna like power throat them, and then then it's a possibility.
Power throat.
I have 2 questions for you that I want to blow through before we come up against the hour.
All right.
Jenny asks, if you could have chosen any other profession to work in, what would you have chosen?
Any, like if I had my druthers, or something that I always wanted to be on the radio ever since I was little. So if I could have been a DJ, that would have been great.
You do have a voice for radio. We'll give you that.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Top of the hour.
Burnt toast and coffee time, 7:58.
Good morning.
And what's the other one you got for me?
Another Jen asks, if you drank Starry Soda, would you feel like a cannibal, a narcissist, or both?
That stuff made me piss out my asshole. I would feel empty. That's what happened.
He would feel like a root beer dispenser.
I shit through the eye of the needle without touching the sides of the eye. So
yeah, you mentioned that when that first came out.
Yeah, and I actually sent them a message on Facebook and asked them when I was going to start getting royalties, and they didn't answer me.
Yep.
I mean, it's Starry Soda. Come on, that's my shit.
Yeah, I think some litigation is involved here.
I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree.
So anyway, okay, well, guys, gals, and those of you somewhere in the middle, thank you so very much for your questions. We really appreciate that. Now, next week, you know, we may or may not have a show next week. I'm not sure right now, but we will be letting you know that right away.
Okay.
And you and I talked about that earlier today.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so once again, guys, thanks for your questions. We're gonna do this one again sometime soon.
That was fun.
I think we do one every season to ask us anything, and but I think this format was really fun.
It was.
You know,
I like the
bouncing
more
back between
pointed
the two of us.
questions.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's more personal that way. So guys, thanks again. So on behalf of us over here at Tales from the Crawl Space, Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, on behalf of Tony Spangler from SpanglerArt.com's home of the famous surgical stainless steel urethral sounding rod, we cordially invite you to bug the motherfuck off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now.